Chapter 1. The First Step, starting with simple words. Hi, I am Ariel, and today I am going to talk about how to start speaking English with confidence. Whether you're a complete beginner or just nervous about using English, don't worry. We're starting with the simplest words and shortest sentences. Trust me, it's not as difficult as it seems. Like Lao Tzu once said, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. And today, that first step is learning some basic English. Why start simple? When learning English, many people feel overwhelmed by the number of words, grammar rules, and phrases. But here's a secret. You don't need to know everything right away. Start with simple words like hello, thank you, please, and build from there. Short sentences like how are you or I am fine are great ways to begin talking in English without fear. These words are powerful because they are used in everyday conversation, and mastering them will make you feel more confident. English reading techniques. The basics. Let's talk about some easy ways to improve your reading skills as well. There are 3 techniques you can start using today. 1. Repetition. Read the same words and sentences again and again. This helps you remember them easily. For example, try reading, hello, how are you? Several times until you're comfortable with it. 2. Visualization. Imagine what you're reading. If you read the word apple, picture an apple in your mind. This helps connect the words with their meaning. 3. Slow reading. Don't rush. It's okay to read slowly. The more time you spend on a sentence, the better you understand it. Focus on pronunciation and clarity. The power of daily practice. Let me tell you a little secret. Daily practice is your best friend when it comes to learning English. If you spend just 10 minutes every day reading or speaking simple words, you'll notice an improvement over time. For example, you can practice saying good morning every day when you wake up or read a short text before you go to bed. Here's a quick real-life example. My friend Sarah was afraid to speak English. She started practicing simple greetings like hi and how are you every day. Soon enough, she could confidently ask for directions when traveling. All it took was small daily steps. You can also visit my website, where I have uploaded videos to help you improve your vocabulary and sentence structure. These videos are designed to give you a chance to practice with real-life scenarios and simple conversations. Join the conversation. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What are some of the most challenging words you've encountered while learning English? Comment below and share your experience. It's okay to feel challenged. That's part of learning. Together, we'll make it easier. That's the end of Chapter 1. Keep practicing those simple words and sentences, and you'll be amazed at how quickly you improve. In the next chapter, we'll explore the power of listening and how it helps you master English faster. Stay tuned. Chapter 2. The Magic of Listening. Welcome back. In the second chapter, we talked about starting with simple words. Now, let's dive into one of the most powerful tools for learning English: listening. Have you ever noticed how babies learn to talk? They don't start by reading or writing. They listen. And that's the magic of it. Listening to English speakers is one of the best ways to improve your pronunciation and build a strong vocabulary. It helps you hear how words are used in real conversations, so you can pick up on the sounds, rhythm, and tone of the language. As Dr. Seuss wisely said, "The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go." Listening is a big part of this learning journey because it connects you to the way English is actually spoken. How listening helps you improve one. Pronunciation. Listening to native speakers helps you hear how words are correctly pronounced. For example, you might read the word enough, but until you hear it, you might not realize it sounds like enough. When you listen carefully, you'll pick up on these tricky sounds and be able to pronounce words more naturally. 2. Vocabulary. As you listen to conversations or stories, you'll come across new words. The more you hear them in context, the easier it will be to understand and remember them. Words stick better when you hear them multiple times in different situations. 3. Confidence. When you listen to English often, it becomes familiar. It doesn't sound strange or difficult anymore. This boosts your confidence because you'll start to feel like you get the language even before you speak it. Listening techniques, shadowing tone and rhythm. Now let's talk about some techniques to make listening even more effective. 1. Shadowing. This is a simple but powerful exercise. As you listen to a conversation or a sentence, try to repeat what you hear immediately after. It's like you're following the speaker's shadow. This helps you practice pronunciation and intonation in real time. 2. Listening for tone. Pay attention to how the speaker's voice rises and falls. For example, when someone asks a question, their tone often goes up at the end. This is called intonation. Listening for this helps you understand the emotions behind the words, whether someone is happy, sad, or curious. 3. Rhythm. English has a natural flow, a rhythm that native speakers follow. When you listen, try to catch the pauses between words and how some words are stressed more than others. This rhythm is important when you start speaking because it makes you sound more fluent and natural. Resources for slow-paced conversations. If you're just starting out, it's best to listen to slow-paced English. On my website, I've uploaded videos specifically designed for beginners. These videos feature simple conversations spoken slowly, so you can hear each word clearly. It's a great way to practice listening at your own pace, without feeling overwhelmed. What do you find most helpful? Before we move on to the next chapter, I'd love to hear from you. What kind of content helps you the most when learning English? Do you prefer listening to stories, conversations, or something else? Leave a comment below and share your thoughts. Your feedback helps me create better content for you. That wraps up Chapter 2. Keep practicing your listening skills, and soon you'll notice a big improvement in both your understanding and pronunciation. In the next chapter, we'll talk about speaking with confidence and how to overcome the fear of making mistakes. Stay tuned. Chapter 3: Building Confidence. Speak without fear. Welcome back. In the last chapter, we focused on the magic of listening. Now, it's time to tackle one of the biggest challenges for many English learners: speaking with confidence. For many of us, the fear of making mistakes holds us back from trying. But remember, mistakes are a part of learning. As Richard Branson once said, "Do not be embarrassed by your failures. Learn from them and start again." The truth is, everyone makes mistakes when they're learning a new language, and that's okay. The key is to keep going, even when things feel awkward or uncomfortable. Why making mistakes is important. Imagine this. If you never tried speaking because you were afraid of saying something wrong, how would you ever improve? Every time you practice, you get one step closer to fluency. Mistakes are not a sign of failure. They're proof that you're trying, and that's something to be proud of. When I was learning a second language, I used to feel so embarrassed when I got things wrong. But over time, I realized that nobody judged me for it. Instead, they appreciated my effort. It's the same for you. The more you speak, the faster you'll grow. Techniques for speaking with confidence. 1. Speak out loud. One of the best ways to overcome fear is by speaking English out loud, whether you're alone or with someone. Practice saying simple sentences to yourself in the mirror or while you're doing everyday tasks. For example, when you're brushing your teeth, you can say, "Today I'm going to eat breakfast and then study." Even these small moments of practice help build confidence. 2. Language apps. There are many apps available where you can practice speaking English. Some even offer real-time feedback on your pronunciation. These tools are great because they give you the chance to practice at your own pace without the pressure of speaking to someone face-to-face. 3. Role-playing everyday scenarios. Imagine yourself in real-life situations and practice what you'd say. For example, if you're at a store, how would you ask for help? You can say things like, "Excuse me, where can I find the bread?" or "How much does this cost?" By acting out these everyday conversations, you'll feel more prepared when the real moment comes. Practice with my videos. I know speaking can be tough, but here's something that can help. Try speaking along with my videos. On my website, I've created interactive exercises where you can practice speaking simple dialogues. These videos are designed to guide you through everyday conversations, so you can practice with me as much as you want. It's like having a personal conversation partner, but without the pressure. Share your confidence-boosting techniques. Now I want to hear from you. What are your favorite techniques for boosting your speaking confidence? Do you have any tips that help you feel more comfortable when you're speaking English? Share them in the comments below. Your ideas might help someone else who's struggling with the same fears. That's it for Chapter 3. Remember, confidence comes from practice, and every time you speak, you're improving. In the next chapter, we'll explore how reading can help you become more fluent in English. Stay tuned and keep speaking. Chapter 4. Reading and Comprehension, the Key to Fluency. Welcome back. Now that we've talked about building confidence in speaking, let's focus on a powerful tool that helps improve fluency. Reading. Reading is essential for growing your vocabulary, improving comprehension, and making sense of how English is structured. As Joseph Addison said, reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body. Just like exercise makes your body stronger, reading makes your mind sharper and better at understanding English. Why reading matters. Reading isn't just about understanding individual words. It's about seeing how sentences are formed and how ideas flow in English. The more you read, the more familiar you become with how the language works. This is why reading regularly is one of the best ways to boost your fluency and comprehension. When you read, you get exposed to new words in context. That means you learn how words are used in different situations, and this helps you use them correctly when speaking or writing. Plus, reading improves your ability to understand what others are saying. The better your comprehension, the easier it will be for you to follow conversations and express yourself clearly. Techniques to improve reading skills. Let's explore some simple techniques that will help you get more out of your reading practice. 1. Skimming. This is when you quickly glance over a text to get the main idea. You don't have to understand every single word. Focus on the key points and the general meaning. For example, if you're reading a news article, skim through it to find out what the main story is about before reading in detail. 2. Scanning. This is used when you're looking for specific information in a text, like a date or a name. You move your eyes quickly over the page until you find what you're looking for. It's a useful skill when you don't need to read everything, but just want to find certain details. 3. Active reading. This is when you engage with the text as you read. Ask yourself questions like, what is this text about? Or, why did the character do this? By thinking about the meaning behind the words, you'll improve your comprehension and remember what you read more effectively. Using graded readers. For absolute beginners, one of the best tools to improve reading is graded readers. These are books written for learners at different levels, using simple vocabulary and short sentences. They're designed to help you practice reading without feeling overwhelmed. On my website, I have a list of resources where you can find graded readers and other simple texts to practice with. These are great for building both your confidence and your comprehension. The link between reading and speaking. Did you know that reading also helps with your speaking skills? When you read out loud, you practice pronunciation, and when you read silently, you improve your understanding of how sentences are structured. Both of these skills will help you speak more fluently. So, the next time you pick up a book or an article, think of it as a way to improve not just your reading, but also your ability to speak English naturally. What are you reading? Before we move on, I'd love to know what you're reading. Do you have a favorite English book or article that has helped you in your learning process? Share it in the comments below. Your recommendations could be really helpful to others who are just starting out. That's it for Chapter 4. Reading is a fantastic way to boost your fluency, and the more you practice, the more confident you'll feel in your understanding of English. In the next chapter, we'll talk about creating daily habits that will take your English skills to the next level. Keep reading and stay tuned. Chapter 5. Practice makes perfect. Daily habits for speaking English. Welcome back. Now that we've covered the essentials of reading and comprehension, let's focus on something that will truly transform your English skills: daily practice. Learning a language isn't something that happens overnight. It's the result of consistent effort. As Robert Collier once said, "Success is the sum of small efforts, repeated day in and day out." The more you practice, the more natural English will feel. Think of it like exercising a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. The same is true for your English speaking ability. Why daily practice is key. Just like how small actions add up to big changes, daily practice helps you improve faster. Even if you only spend 10 to 15 minutes each day, the impact will be huge over time. This is because regular practice keeps English fresh in your mind and helps you develop confidence. When you make English a part of your daily routine, it becomes less of a task and more of a habit. Techniques for daily practice. Here are some simple yet effective ways to incorporate English into your daily life. 1. Keep an English diary. Writing a few sentences about your day is a great way to practice both your writing and thinking in English. 2. You don't need to write long paragraphs. Start with something simple like, "Today, I went to the park and had a nice walk." Over time, you can add more details and improve your sentence structure. 3. Speak to yourself in English. If you don't have someone to practice with, don't worry. You can talk to yourself in English. This might sound funny at first, but it's actually a fantastic way to build confidence. Describe what you're doing, like, "I'm making breakfast now," or plan your day out loud. The more you speak, the more comfortable you'll become. 4. Set daily goals. Setting small, achievable goals is a great way to stay motivated. For example, you can set a goal to learn 5 new words every day or practice speaking for 10 minutes. By focusing on little tasks, you'll stay consistent without feeling overwhelmed. And remember, every bit of progress counts. Daily practice resources on my website. To make your daily practice easier, I've uploaded a variety of resources on my website. Whether you're looking for short exercises, conversation starters, or how-to guides for beginners, you'll find something that fits your needs. These resources are designed to help you build a routine that works for you, no matter how busy your day is. You can also find video lessons that you can follow along with, where you'll be practicing common phrases and everyday dialogues. These are perfect for developing fluency in a fun, relaxed way. What's your daily routine? Now, I want to hear from you. Do you have a daily English practice routine? Maybe you've been using some of the techniques I've mentioned, or perhaps you've come up with your own methods. Share your routine in the comments below. It's a great way to inspire others in our learning community. That's it for Chapter 5. By making daily practice a habit, you'll notice steady improvement in your English skills. Remember, it's all about those small efforts each day. In the final chapter, we'll talk about setting goals for the future and keeping your motivation high. Keep practicing and stay tuned for Chapter 6. Chapter 6. Putting it all together. Mastering English conversations. Congratulations, you've made it to the final chapter of our podcast series. Throughout this journey, we've covered essential skills like listening, reading, speaking, and writing. Now, it's time to bring everything together and focus on mastering English conversations. After all, the ultimate goal is to communicate confidently and clearly in real-life situations. As Ludwig Wittgenstein once said, "The limits of my language are the limits of my world." The more you improve your English, the more your world expands, opening up new opportunities for travel, work, and meaningful connections with others. Combining the core skills. Let's take a moment to see how all the skills you've practiced, listening, reading, speaking, and writing, come together in a conversation. Listening helps you understand what others are saying, recognize different accents, and pick up on conversational cues. Reading expands your vocabulary and improves comprehension, so you can respond with the right words and phrases. Speaking allows you to express your thoughts clearly and confidently, engaging in meaningful dialogue. Writing helps you organize your ideas, which in turn supports better spoken communication. By combining these skills, you'll be well prepared to participate in real conversations, whether it's with a friend, at work, or while traveling. Techniques for real conversations. Now, let's focus on practical techniques you can use when speaking to others in English. 1. Asking questions. One of the best ways to keep a conversation going is by asking questions. This shows that you're interested in what the other person is saying and helps you learn more. Simple questions like, "What do you think?" or "Can you tell me more about that?" can keep the conversation flowing. 2. Being polite. Politeness is key in any conversation. Phrases like "please," "thank you," and "excuse me" make a big difference. Also, when you don't understand something, it's okay to say, "I'm sorry, can you repeat that?" or "Could you explain that again?" It's a polite way to ask for clarification. 3. Using fillers. Sometimes when you're speaking, you need a moment to think. Instead of pausing awkwardly, you can use fillers like, well, or "let me see." These give you time to gather your thoughts and keep the conversation smooth. Conversation practice on my website. To help you put these techniques into practice, I've uploaded conversation exercises on my website. These exercises are designed to improve your fluency by guiding you through real-life scenarios, like ordering food at a restaurant or asking for directions. You can practice these dialogues at your own pace and even repeat them until you feel confident. Remember, practice is key. The more you engage in conversations, whether it's with a language partner, a friend, or even by talking to yourself, the more natural speaking English will feel. Reflect on your progress. Now that we've reached the end of this series, I encourage you to take a moment to reflect on your progress. How have you improved your English skills over the past few chapters? What techniques have been the most helpful for you? Leave a comment below and share your journey. Your experience can motivate and inspire others who are learning alongside you. That wraps up Chapter 6 and the end of our podcast series on how to talk in English. You've learned so much, from building confidence in speaking to mastering everyday conversations. But this is just the beginning. Keep practicing, stay curious, and continue challenging yourself to grow. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and I look forward to hearing how you've put these skills into action. Stay connected, keep learning, and remember, you're on your way to mastering English.